cutie. I don't give a. Tell me why I would on the rose.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the New England Patriots. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the New England Patriots. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Patriots team entering play. They've been in a great group. Winners of 7 of their last 10 on the year.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State. It's the Pro Bowler, Derek Carr.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that 1 interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with the receiver?
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And shutting him off, now open field. And he's into the clear. 30. A huge play there right off the bat. 58 yards. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Right back to him on first down. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. A look now at the Oakland offense.
One of the things I like to do when I'm scouting players is talk to those who knew him before. And I ended up finding out that Amari Cooper has been like a professional route runner since the time he was 6 or 7 years old, has always taken the game seriously, has always worked on his craft, and you see evidence of that each and every week on an NFL field. Couple that with his athletic ability, that's one big reason he's finding himself open in the NFL.
To throw his Carr, and he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So a nice drive on the road. You come in, you take the ball down, you get 3 points.
Yeah, points are a must on an opening drive, right? So they moved it down efficiently, got it done. I think that bodes well for their chances moving forward in this one.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And open here is Hogan. He's got it. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Boston Scott, his first carry. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving him a whole lot of credit and thanking him for that much space to rumble.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 12 carries, 71 yards.
And how about that momentum run right there? Personally, what I do is I get right back to the line of scrimmage. I come right back at them before they get settled. He's locked in a little bit now. I'll guarantee he wants the ball again.
A run for Nick Chubb. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And down inside the 15 he goes. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them. Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And the Raiders have got him. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Here's Wilson to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rashawn Melvin. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. Edelman was the intended target.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Well, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. Third and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Well, you were just alluding to it. They had the lead. Don't try anything silly. Run the ball, but they opted to throw it incomplete.
And now the punt, as a result, is really compressed, isn't it? So the mechanics have to be perfect. Snap, and he's got to get rid of it fast.
Here now, Johnny Townsend. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. So the Patriots coming out now. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. It didn't happen on that play.
And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for it in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
On third down, Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. On second down, here's Wilson. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The former Bill, Chris Hogan, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 4.
Come on, let's go. When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop them short of a first down.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays, yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now a play fake. Carr. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A very solid gain of 27. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him,
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Flushed out right. Room to run inside the 40. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Raiders have recovered. He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
Deron Harmon makes the tackle. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
Yeah, well, that changed in a big way. The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, free safety was there, no gain. Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. And I do believe this is going to line up a safety. It is. It's a safety. How about that for a wacky play? Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson, and he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. A Raider first down as Carr finds Cooper.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And they won't try and pooch it. It's a fake. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. The trick play works. Excellent execution. 18 yards on that fake and a first down.
I'm not sure that the surprise was that they actually faked it. That's classic territory to go ahead and do it. The surprise to me is that they were successful. I'm not sure the defense was really prepared.
And now they're going to keep the drive alive here. Really big play on the fake punt. Dante Hightower on the stop.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
This is Carson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. To throw, it's Carr. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Foxborough after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
But when it all comes together and you get the field goal block that's been designed, that's been drawn up, everyone has to feel good about on that side of the ball. How about that one there? To the left side, knew what they had. That's where they wanted to be, and they got their designated guy turned free.
Now it's Wilson. Slant route caught by Edelman. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Rashawn Melvin. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Throwing now is Carr. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. A good convergence there defensively. Only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Carr. Caught on the right side by Treadwell. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Carr now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Shotgun now for Carr. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Kayvon Webster on the defensive side, able to get a hand in. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Carson. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with a run so far. 23 yards on the play. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. but everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the shotgun, Wilson. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. On 2nd down, Scott. Room to run past midfield. There he goes left side. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
So instead of trailing into the lockers, they grabbed the lead with the clock reading all zeros before. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. So we've reached halftime here at Gillette Stadium with the Patriots on top. J.J. Nelson now to return. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And now out come the Patriots. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Here's Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
And while it didn't work very well on that play, defenders on 3rd and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way, you're able to diagnose the play and try and get to the point of attack. But when you're dealing with a fullback, it's hard to knock him backwards.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 2nd down now, Scott. They find some open field here. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. And this is incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Adam Thielen, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A good pickup there at 22.
Later, 2. Get set.
They run it with Carson. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Marcus Gilchrist there to bring him down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. Lets it fly for Thielen, and he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
New England on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Rashawn Melvin. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. So they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
On 3rd down, Carr. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And the Patriots take over. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the 3rd quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really, that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage in big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with a recipe of the ground game. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. New England on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot 1st down.
So far this season, this is an offense that's proved its ability to move the football. I mean, they're in the top 5 in the NFL and picking up 1st downs, and they get the conversion here. And I think a lot of that is due to how they win on 1st and 2nd down, because that leaves them 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable. A lot easier to pick them up then, isn't it?
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, Wilson. On the crossing route, that's caught. Julian Edelman. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And finding Edelman underneath, that's a recipe for success.
Typical route for a good slot receiver, and Edelman's one of the best in the game. He knows how to go inside what one of my college coaches used to call the briar patch. Got to go in there where it's tough and make those tough catches. And not only can he do it, he can often run away from people after the catch. So where'd all that running room that he had in the 1st half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Wilson now to throw on 2nd down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
To throw on 3rd down, Wilson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Back now in Foxborough. We get set for the 4th quarter. Patriots have the lead. They also have the football. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's another 10 yards on that one and another 1st down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So after 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
On 2nd down, Scott. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
New England on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They go again with Scott. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. Two of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Forced out to his left. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. Adam Thielen, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Patriots add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is it bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Oh, the return is Henderson. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. From midfield, here's Carr. He'll find Henderson there. It's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right? And
this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Open man is Henderson. That's complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders get a score closer. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad.
Is that Woody
he would have
Hayes?
kept it on the ground.
Here's Wilson looking to throw on second down. And he lets go a laser pulled in by Edelman. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I know this game's winding down and people are getting tired, and that's when you really want a big body guy running the football. But I have to tell you, watching him run it, I wonder why they don't use it more earlier in the game.
Yeah, those bigger guys here late in the game, you're trying to protect the lead, usually not as fumble prone either.
No, that is so true because they are taught. Take care of the ball as you surge forward, and you often see them with both hands wrapped around it when they go through the line.
Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
This is caught. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Adam Thielen, 31 yards. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And that will make this a 19-point game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. On the return is Henderson. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Carr now on first down. And he will find his man on the outside. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. On first down, Carr. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jason McCourty.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
On first down, Scott, and he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. but you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll run with Chubb, and he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
The lone man in the backfield here is Chubb on 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score. Nick Chubb, his first touchdown on the year. And the Pats take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
That's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Now, 180.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He'll get this one to Switzer. And one of the whistles for it, timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
Monday down. Down.
Throwing on first down is Carr. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Duron Harmon right there on the coverage. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Get down. Get down. 180.
One final try now for Carr. He's going to let it fly. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Duron Harmon. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for New England, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, the loss is number 8 for them on the year. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the New Orleans Saints. So for Charles Davis and our